I would like to thank UNICEF for inviting me to this round table on the rights of the children and climate change in Africa. Thank you. The answer to your question is yes. Yes, Africa and climate change are EU priorities and they are clearly interconnected. African countries, their population and ecosystems are particularly affected and vulnerable to negative impacts of climate change. Developing countries, and especially in the African continent, are the first to suffer the disaster consequences of global warming and climate change, while developed countries are responsible for the lion's share of carbon emission. In the last decade, African economies have been growing at an average rate of 4.7%, but the challenge of climate change threatens further economic growth. By 2050, based on the current trends in global emission, Africa's adaptation cost could reach 100 billion annually. These numbers will inevitably undermine the achievement of the objectives set by the agendas 2063 and 2030. During the 10th meeting of the Africa Union Commission and EU Commission in February 2020, it was very clearly stated by both parties how the implementation on their respective commitments under the Paris Agreement has to be based on the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities in the light of current circumstances. This principle is essential in order to understand what our common interests and the demands from African side are. Like Europe, Africa is not immune to the rapid global biodiversity loss exacerbated by the effects of climate change. This is extremely worrying since biodiversity is crucial for safeguarding Africa's food security. Biodiversity loss threatens our food system, putting our food security and nutrition at risk. Biodiversity also underpins healthy and nutritious diets and improves rural livelihoods and agricultural productivity. For these reasons, we need to put climate, biodiversity, and environmental protection at the heart of the partnership between the European and the African Union, in the line with EU's commitment to the Paris Agreement and the Convention on Biodiversity. The biodiversity crisis and the climate crisis are intrinsically linked, and protecting nature is a vital ally in the fight against climate change. The Green Deal sees the EU's role as one of leading by example. The external dimension of the Green Deal needs to continue increasing its cooperation with Africa through green alliances. The next decade is key to preserve and restore global biodiversity and key ecosystems. We therefore call for increased global action and ambition in the next international meeting like COP15. This ambition must be supported by sufficient financial resources. I would like to remind you that in our negotiation for the new financial instrument for development, neighborhood and external action, 45% of the budget would be devoted to these objectives. In terms of strengthening our global action, the Commission proposed in the new strategy, Europe and Africa Union, to establish a structured trilateral Africa Union, European and United Nations to cooperate to create a transformative platform to advance on multilateralism in common agendas, such as climate change. In a few words, the main message is the following. To achieve the Sustainable Development Goals, EU and Africa need to opt for a low carbon, resource efficient and climate resilient future in line with the Paris Agreement and increase action to protect biodiversity. As a chair of the delegation for the relationship with the Pan-African Parliament, I want to underline that we need to build a deeper and stronger dialogue with our African partners. I'm not trying to promote a new EU-African cooperation framework unilaterally. And in addition, the coronavirus pandemic has shown us that in face of global challenges, a unilateral response is simple, not possible. Mm-hmm. Health, therefore, means the health of all. In Africa, in Europe, throughout the world, we have witnessed an unprecedented battle against a terrible virus that has taken the lives of many citizens. The pandemic and its asymmetrical effects have shown the fragility of an interdependent world. We need joint action, solidarity, and work together more than ever. Political dialogue is key to address together, hand in hand, the key challenge of the climate crisis in our shared and common planet. Thank you.